Child of Light. The colorful little family-friendly turn-based RPG platformer that's got more aesthetically pleasing artwork than your little sister's favorite cartoon show. Alright, this is the way it's gonna work. It's pretty simple. I play the game for an hour, and give you everything I've taken from it. 1 hour to impress. That's my gimmick and I'm sticking to it. Child of Light starts off its storybook-like adventure with a cutscene explaining this.
Child, tuck yourself in bed, and let me tell a story of Lemuria, a long-lost kingdom, and a girl born for glory. In Austria was a crown land ruled by a duke. Aurora was his daughter, child of a duchess mysterious, beloved by her father. He raised the girl alone. They were rarely apart, till the duke felt lonely and misplaced his heart. It was the Great Friday before Easter 1895. Players performed for the Duke, his new bride at his side. That night, Aurora went to sleep. The fire burned down low. She caught a chill that spread. Her skin was cold as snow. At dawn they found her, vacant, Aurora's light gone out. Her father wept and pleaded, but there could be no doubt. For all intents and purposes, Aurora was dead. And yet, once upon a time, she awoke in a strange land instead.
So after her father married this lady in purple, who I'm going to assume is evil because only evil ladies were purple, Aurora died in her sleep and woke up in a strange forest. Believing this is all to be a dream, Aurora wanders the forest in search of her father. A little bit of a father's girl, probably. It isn't long before she comes across a firefly, who reminds me of a Paper Mario character for some reason. He then mentions Aurora's name without actually knowing her. Something might be up with that. Probably, maybe, most likely guess. He then tells her of a lady who awaits her accompaniment and wishes her to follow. Alright Firefly, I'm down. Platform exploration, hidden treasure chests, basic gameplay explanation. These little balls of light are actually kind of a neat idea, by the way. And a lick of puzzles later you find yourself at your first real obstacle. A tree. It is here the Firefly companion comes into play. He can light up his body and make shadows happen. Good job, you little blue guy. Positioning your Firefly over the 3 tiki torches of fun, you'll line them up with the symbols and open the great Deku tree and find yourself your new best friend. A sword. Because fuck it, princesses can kick ass with sharp things too. Why has everyone gotta have magic? Now that you're properly equipped, you come into your first battle with a wood-like creature grasshopper thing known as a creeper. I'm not gonna reference it. I know no, I'm just not going to. Here's where the game's honestly interesting gameplay mechanics come into play, which, I could explain them for you, but I'm just gonna flash this text right here. There you go. Hopefully you got that. If you didn't, then... Anyway, then you kill the fucking thing and move on. Actually, you level up first and then you get access to this gnarly skill tree. Just from the early first impression, I'm getting this feeling that one of them is more of a warrior-like style, the other is a spellcaster, and the other is more of a let's roll the dice and hope things work out kind of thing. I can dig it. So, after RPG fun time is over, you come across regular enemies that you can attack in the open field. If you get the jump on them, you get a surprise attack. If otherwise, then, well, You can also blind them and run away if you're not feeling like you want to have some company right now. More battles and basic block movement puzzles later, you come across a bird and the text imagery sound of a lady calling for your aid. Not really sure what's up with this guy. He's got a hat and he just calls at me. I mean, I like him, but he's just kind of there. Avoiding your new bird friend because he doesn't want to talk to you anymore in the first place, he didn't even talk to you at all, so it doesn't really matter. You come across the graveyard with some ghost ladies who like to wail and moan a lot. I didn't catch their names, but they're super weak to starlight, so I'm just gonna call them Muse. That's a reference to Muse. In case you didn't catch that, it's the band. They have a song called Starlight. In case you didn't understand the reference. Goddamn it, texts. Stumbling along further, you come across a chest that contains an oculi. Oculis are the gems in this game that improve your weapon, your armor, or your neck thing. Probably. You can take them out whenever you want, or you can just give them to your friends because sharing is sweet. Also, when you get enough, you can combine them into stronger gems. It's like Child of Diablo or something. Oh yeah, this happens too. I know, you're terrified, I'm sorry. I forgot to put a trigger warning for horror. My apologies. This all seemed a lot better in script form than it is in spoken form. Huh. Anyway, new enemy introduction. Stony Gargoyle Man thing. Swell. Next you come across a locked door. Time for puzzles. Puzzles done? Good. Now that the door is open, you enter this rather charming cathedral, complete with a touch of creepy music, endless statues, and another shine puzzle. Line up the casted colors with the gems in the background and break free the woman calling for your aid. Then you remember those statues I just mentioned 4 seconds ago. Well, they're kind of really mad at you right now. Welcome to your first boss fight, the Domeless Duo. I just made that up, by the way. I'm not too impressed with it, but it's pretty decent, so it's about like a 6. It's not bad. Aside for some strong hits and speed up powers, they're not really much different from the previous fights, but hey, their heads are gone, so I can't really blame them too much. Also, they mentioned some Queen of Night before they were trying to kill you, so I should have mentioned that beforehand, and I didn't. Sorry. After the riffraff has been dealt with, the lady from the glass comes down in the ball of light, and turns out the glass version was a little bit more flattering than you would imagine. She then gives Aurora a vision. Here it is.
Once the sun shone upon a land of sequined valleys and peaks of white, and at night ruined castles glowed with alabaster light. From the stars in the crescent moon, a queen of light ruled this rambling place. Each night she walked the palace alone, her luminosity dawn's own face. Until one night there was no trace. The queen had vanished, and with her the light. Dark resided in its place. The usurper, Umbra, hid from sight. She sent her daughters in her stead. The sun, the stars, and the crescent moon. They pilfered from the sky, extinguished them with the monsoon. Then Umbra's dark creatures conquered the land. Our lives soon snuffed out by a wave of her hand.
So, Umbra wrecked the Queen of Light's face and took over. Ruined everything throughout the world over. Aurora, taking it all for but a story and a dream, believes that waking right now would be most keen. She is then hit with the truth bomb that this is all reality and dream this is not. A terrible hand that she has been drawn from this lot. No, I can't keep that up. Faced with this knowledge, she is then informed that the only way back home is through a mirror that was stolen by Umbra. You should also go back to the Tree of Thorns, which is close to where you started, and the Firefly's name is Aniculus, and he'll be your navvy for this tale. That's a reference to Zelda. Oh right, you can fly now, by the way. Welcome to Fairyland. With your newfound fairy wings, you take off and find all sorts of fun. Like stuff. And people. Meet Rubella, the Jester. A fine lady who can't form words to save her life, but she tries. Her brother and Jester Crime bailed on her to join the traveling circus instead of hiding up in the clouds where it was safe. I guess a man's gotta have a code. In order to find her brother, Rubella teams up with Aurora and you are now granted your first party member. Hooray. She can heal. That's even better. She's like a juggling white mage. Exploring where you've been before, you get some previously out of reach items. Battling wolves and spiders and flying dragon things later, you come across the second boss of your trip. The biggest giant this sign of wherever the heck giants come from. He's a tough cookie, but with some careful Aniculus work and resource management, you can actually stunlock him like the OG you are. Damn, you're good. Nice. You made it to the Tree of Thorns. You've also made it to the next zone. You have a world map now. You can travel to and from each zone with it. And you got a trophy. Jesus. Kicking ass. And that's actually it. That's an hour into the game. I told you I'm sticking to that gimmick, so there you go. Okay, personal opinion time. I actually really like that. I wasn't really knowing what to expect outside of good visuals and nice music, and it covered both of those and had some decent gameplay mechanics as well, so that was cool. I wasn't expecting to really give any damns about the combat system, but it's surprisingly pretty fun. Man, you can do stuff when you're not doing stuff, if that makes sense. You can move your little fella around, and you can make things happen when you're just sitting there waiting, because turn-based combat systems and such. I don't know, it's definitely not a bad game though, especially if you're looking for something that you could play in front of your grandma or something and she won't get too upset. Or you could show it to your little boy and they'll be like, shit mom, that looks awesome, be like, thanks kid. But then you wonder why the hell your kid's cussing. You didn't get that from this game doesn't swear. This game barely says words, so he has to know how to read before he can learn them. But yeah, it's definitely a pretty solid storybook adventure from the first hour impression at least anyway. So, if you're the kind of person who wants to sit there and eat some s'mores and drink some apple cider with music playing in the background, but then you can turn it off because the game has its own music, doesn't seem like a bad thing to sink some time into. Cool. You know, it's not for everybody, but it's for some people, and that's really all that matters. There's something for everybody, I guess. Some games not so much, but this one seems good. Man. Alright, cool. I'm done with this. Everything before the personal opinion was a script. Just saying. I wrote it myself. I typed it. And it took forever. But, you know, that's just what happens. You have a good one. I'll catch you in another time and another day of wherever the hell you want to be at today. Take care. Toodles.